In this walkthrough video, I'm going to show you how to complete the Getting Started guide. First thing, just click on the Getting Started guide here in the upper right-hand corner, and then it will load an overlay onto your screen. The instructions will pop up here just to emphasize what they are, and then if you click OK, they'll remain here at the top so that you can still read them, but you'll have access to the rest of the screen. So the first instruction is, welcome, place the show string block in the onStart slot. Replace hello text with your name. Did you see it scroll? So the hint here is that these blocks are in blue, which tells me that I should be looking in the blue basic category. So I need to place the show string block, let's see, here it is, in the onStart slot here. And then I need to replace this with my name. And then we can see over here in the emulator that it says Grant. Great. And the cool part about the emulator is this is actually just as functional as your physical microbit, but it instantly can show you what you have programmed. So this is really great to be able to test out your code before you actually send it over to your microbit. If I want to run it again, I can click on the reset button and we can see it run. Okay, let's see. After we've done this first part, let's go to the next part. Connect a USB cable to the microbit and click download. Save the program to the microbit drive. This transfers your code to the microbit. Okay, so now at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, I see the download button. And when I download it, it actually downloads a hex file to my computer. And I can see here on the screen that yes, it has downloaded. If I open up my download folder, then I see my downloaded file here. Your file probably downloads to your download folder. It kind of depends on your computer, but most likely this is where it goes wherever your files normally go to. And then what I need to do is transfer it over to my microbit drive here. And this actually will show up just like a USB drive. And so you can see here, it just looks like an additional USB thumb drive that I've plugged in. And right now there are 2 files in it. I'm not going to mess around with those. All I'm going to do is drag and drop. So I'm dragging my microbit getting started.hex file over to my microbit that's plugged in through the USB cable on my computer. Okay, now it has downloaded. Great. It reopened the folder. Sometimes you'll get a message saying, be careful when ejecting your or removing your thumb drive or USB drive. You need to eject it first, but it ejected it on its own. It's just Windows not knowing that it is doing that on its own. So don't worry if you get that message. And now what I can do on my microbit is I can actually run this code, and if I press the reset button on the back that's next to the USB cable, then I will be able to see my name scroll on my microbit, and in fact it's working. And you can either leave the USB plugged in if you just want to run the programs while it's connected to your computer, or if you have a battery pack, you can plug in the battery pack and unplug the USB and still be able to run your programs without being connected to your computer, which is kind of nice. For right now, I'm just going to leave it connected. My microbit is still connected to my computer through the USB port because I'm going to download a couple more files and I don't want to go through the hassle of unplugging and plugging it back in. So now let's move on to the next step. Since I've downloaded it onto my microbit, it works. Let's see what else we have in store here. Well, the text stopped. Place the show string block in the on button pressed slot to scroll your name when button A is pressed. Great. Okay, so show string, I remember that's in my basic category. And then I need an on button press slot. Well, I don't have one here, but I see that's purple, so I'm going to jump into this category, the input category, and see, oh, there's the on button pressed. And I'm going to put that in the slot, and it says when button A is pressed. Okay, so on button A pressed. Good, I've got that correct. And I could have, actually I think it wants me to just drag this one over. If you want to customize this on your own, obviously you can have this become a different message. But the way that we can test this on the emulator is I can actually press the A button, and sure enough, it works. Great. Let's go to the next step, and it wants us to download it to our microbit. So if I click on download, it's downloaded down here. I can see, I can click done. I've already got my downloads folder open and my microbit folder, so I can, oh, wait a minute, now I have 2 files. Well, there's a couple tricks here. So first of all, it will start numbering the files because they look like they're duplicates to your computer. So now it will say microbit getting started, and then parentheses 1, close parentheses. And then it will continue the more you download to just continually number them. The other way is you can look at the date. So I can kind of organize by date here and see, okay, where the newest one is at the top, I can see this is the one I just created. It can get tricky sometimes to keep track of which file you just created, but those are a couple hints to do so. And then the other thing is in the microbit file over here, I don't see my old program. How do I get rid of that? Well, all you have to do is actually just drag over your new program into the folder, and it automatically replaces it. You can only have one program file on your microbit at a time. So you don't have to worry about, well, how is it going to know if it's going to run the last program I just made where it just scrolls my name, or if it's going to run the new program where it only scrolls my name when I press the button A. It just replaces whatever program you had with whatever new program you're putting on. So you don't need to worry about that. So now my new program is on my microbit and I have it right here in my hands. I can press the A button and it scrolls my name. Great, so that worked. So let's click next to see what else we need to do for the tutorial. And it says place some blocks to display a smiley when button B is pressed. Okay, so I think I remember how to do this. I obviously need a button B press, and I can use the drop-down menu. So now I need to put a smiley in there. Well, let's see if it's in the basic category. How about, I don't see a smiley available. Maybe I can draw my own. Well, let's put this in the button B category, and then maybe I can draw my own little smiley face. Maybe it'll be tall eyes. There we go. And now I can test this on my emulator over here. Yeah, it looks good. I think I actually just want that. Let's test it again. There we go. Okay, and then we can also place the show number and pick random for the on shake. And we see that this is color-coded again to help us kind of figure out which blocks we need to be pulling from which categories. So show number, this first one, great. And pick random in our math category. Oh, interesting. I think I know where this is going. It looks like we are making dice, right? So now I can pick a random number between 0 to 4. I'm going to change that, even though it's not in the directions, to 0 to 6, just to make it more like a regular die. And now on shake, I can show the number between 0 and 6. And then now that I have the shake event out here, you actually see a new ability on our emulator called shake. And so I can actually just move my mouse. I'm not clicking. I'm just moving my mouse up and down on the microbit itself so that it kind of shakes it. Or I can just click on that white button right there. Okay, looks like it's plenty random. That's pretty fun. Okay, next. Well done, you've completed your first microbit make code activity. Okay, well obviously I need to download this onto my microbit just to make sure that it's all working. And then I think we can move on to our next bigger and better project. I'm definitely using this one. And then I'm waiting for the blinking light on my microbit to stop blinking and go solid. Okay, it looks like it's transferred. And now if I press the A, then it says my name. If I press B, it smiles at me. And then if I shake the microbit, I've got random numbers. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, number 5, number 3. Great. Pretty fun. I hope you were able to follow along through this walkthrough tutorial and that you can now program your microbit.